The aim of the secondment was twofold really. Firstly, it was to give me some classroom experience, teaching students in the classroom, because prior to that I was mainly a workshop lecturer. And the second aim of the secondment was to give me an understanding of the gas industry. I've always been interested in engineering, and I saw this as an opportunity to see for myself how the industry worked. Well, primarily I think Transco was chosen because I've come from an engineering background and I've got the skill set which would be useful to their young trainees. For example, we taught them how to heat treat steels and the effects of heat treatment on steels. I also showed them basic hand skills such as marking out and all the equipment that's necessary to do that. So I think in essence it was my skills matched the unit outcomes. Myself personally, the objective for me was to get an insight into the energy industry, particularly the gas sector. The objectives for the students was to basically get their level 3 to 800 City and Guild certificate, which I was a part of delivering the unit 2. Well, the secondment helped me in terms of my classroom teaching. As I say before, prior to that I'd never done any teaching in the classroom, so I had a whole new, what can I say, way of thinking. I was going to deliver and get across to the students the key parts of the unit that they needed. What I used to do is I used to go into the classroom with a sheet of bits that I wanted to get across to them, evaluate it, see how it worked, and if I wasn't happy with it, the next day, you know, at night time I'd rethink how I was going to deliver a certain part that I thought hadn't gone well, or work on a part that I thought had gone well. So that was for myself. For the students, they was getting my engineering background skills that I'd picked up over the last 27 years on the shop floor and in various industries, for later on when they get streamed into whether they went to the technician route or the maintenance route. But in the first instance, they all need this broad basis of engineering skills. One major surprise that came to me was how they joined gas pipes together. When I was in industry, I used to do a bit of work for the water board with the old-fashioned couplings, and since the secondment I've learnt that the pipes are welded together, the plastic pipes are welded together. I believe it's called hot platen welding. This is now armed with me with more information, so that when I go into the classroom and talk to new students about fastening techniques and welding techniques, I can also tell them about the fact that all the gas pipes are welded together, and as it happens, I believe that the pipes in the water industry are also welded together. Main outcome for me was my classroom management skills were enhanced by the secondment. I learnt how a classroom situation is totally different to a workshop situation. In terms of discipline, delivery, materials, and that kind of stuff. It really did help me. I started off pretty new, like I say, and by the end of the secondment I was more confident, better able to set my stall out in terms of what I was going to deliver, manageable chunks, what worked in the classroom and what didn't work in the classroom. I would like to think one of the main key impacts of my secondment at Transco was one day when I was trying to explain to the students about fits and limits, tolerances, which was part of one of the outcomes. And I could tell by their reaction that I wasn't getting through to them. So as I was driving home, I was thinking about it, and the next day I went into the workshop and I made myself a go no go plug gauge and a boss with a bore in it. The next day when I went into the classroom and talked about fits and limits again, I passed round this physical bar with a bore and explained to them that's an interference fit, that's a clearance fit and a transition fit, and it instantly connected with the students, and it made me feel great, and it made them also feel a lot better, because at long last they managed to get and come to terms with fits and limits. I'd like to think in 5 or 6 years' time I'd be heading up a small, on a managerial scheme of things, a small team that's dedicated to my subject specialism, which is machining, whether it be old conventional machining or CNC machining. I believe that in industry, technology is changing all the time, and I'd like to keep ahead of that technology. For instance, there's new CAD/CAM systems coming out all the time. There's solid edge software packages which are always being updated and improved upon, and I like to keep abreast of this new technology so that I can teach and deliver it to the students that's going to be coming along in the future.